This is some clips actually showing the PDP on the ground as they are trying. They have opened their first office in Barataria. They opened it earlier this month. And so this is just some clips of the opening that they would have gotten at the opening that would have happened in Barataria earlier this month. And then we have the political leader, Mr. Watson Duke, and we have some other members who are speaking about the future of the party as they plan to make, you know, a mark in the politics in Trinidad locally. And we have the political leader, Mr. Watson Duke, in the studio with us right now. Mr. Duke, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on Now.
Good morning, ma'am. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, Mr. Duke, you recently opened your first PDP headquarters, I believe it was earlier this month in Barataria. Give us the reason for such a move.
That's not the first PDP headquarters, the first headquarters in Trinidad and the only headquarters in Trinidad. PDP has its own headquarters in Tobago. I'm not just a political leader, I'm also the founder of the party. The vision of the party is to represent the unrepresented. If you look at the voting trends, they are going down. It means people feel as if they are misrepresented and therefore they are not taking part in the elections. We are here to speak to the unrepresented.
Now, any plans to offer candidates for the local government election? Of course, that's coming up at the end of the year.
We are going to contest anything that is available. So if local government is available, we will contest that.
Give me some more. So are you going for all the corporations? Because I've been hearing some talk about you singling out maybe the Port of Spain City Corporation a little bit more than the others.
And exactly that. We are going after the city of Port of Spain. The city of Port of Spain has been misrepresented. It is now a city of squalor and schemes. And I think we have to change that view of Port of Spain. The people of Lavantil, Beetown, Port of Spain East, Port of Spain West, North and South, Lavantil East, Lavantil West are still unrepresented. Water is still a problem. Imagine that. In the city of Port of Spain, water is still a problem. We have to deal with that. These mayors who they are putting up, these PNM mayors, they're all failures.
Now, Mr. Duke, is it that you're saying you will be the candidate for the Port of Spain Corporation?
No, I'm not. I'm not a grasshopper. I don't jump, jump. But I have been searching for persons and I've been seeing persons who are quite qualified by, you know, experience and academic qualifications to hold such positions and to lead the people in the correct direction.
And as we look towards the general elections in 2025, are you going to be using the same momentum to build to that as well?
Well, one thing about the PDP Spartans, we don't stop, we don't give up, we don't go back, we just advance, and we are advancing. We will continue this advancement until elections. Whenever they call it, we would be on the ground, we would be excited, we would be moving strong.
Now, Mr. Duke, they also say in unity is strength. If there's an opportunity for the PDP to join to make a coalition with another party to be stronger, will you look into that?
Well, we are not into that business, right? We have never been one to join another party of no kind whatsoever. What we do, we provide a platform where members from various parties can come and join us individually. And so in Tobago, we have persons from the Tobago Forwards that came across and joined us. We have persons from the Tobago Organization of the People Top have come forward and joined us. They are now PDP. Currently now, we have persons who were PNM in our party and persons who are associated with the UNC in our party also. So we don't go and say to the leader, come and join us, or we want to join you. We simply speak to people and their desires, and if they feel that their desires coincide with the PDP desires, then we say, come on board.
Now, in terms of your strategy for, you know, gaining support in Trinidad, because I know some people may still see the PDP as a Tobago party. I mean, what kind of strategy are you putting in place for the local and even as you look towards general?
Well, I reject that statement. There's no one I met or I've heard of or I've seen the PDP as a Tobago party. That's a backward form of thinking. Anyone thinks so, they don't deserve to be on planet Earth. The world is now global. And so the PDP is very much alive in Trinidad as it is in Tobago. And there's no special plans except that I've understood the people of Trinidad for a very long time. I've worked among them for 12 years. I've been excellent in my job representing them. And I know what it takes to win them. So that's all the plan we know. We have the plan. We know what it takes. Just as I knew what it took to win Tobago, I can say boldly that I know what it takes to win Trinidad, and we are going to win Trinidad.
But, Mr. Duke, I mean, some people can make the argument that, some seats have traditionally, gone to certain parties. I mean, your party is new, your party is young, and you are coming into a new political realm. I mean, aren't you concerned about that at all?
They have to be concerned about that, because the people we're dealing with, they are dinosaurs in their field. They're all 70 plus. They should be home smelling baby powder, rocking baby to sleep, teaching them 1, 2, A, B. They have no right in modern day politics. Look around the world. Look at the people who are leading, the young people who are leading the world today. And so they're really backward. Their techniques are backward, race politics and corruption and bacchanal politics. We're not on that. The PDP is the newest political party in the country and maybe in the Caribbean to ever make this mark. We wiped the PNM completely out. All 15 seats, we captured them. It is interesting to note.
15 or 14? 15
seats we captured, all 15. It's interesting to note that after midnight, it was only after midnight, in the wee hours of the morning, they stole back one. And I said openly, they stole back a seat.
But we have the Elections and Boundaries Commission who did the recount, and they gave it to Kelvin Morris. So is it that you're saying that...
They gave it to him. He didn't win it. They gave it to him. That's what you said. And I agree with
Mr.
that.
Duke. Okay. Now, how has the response been thus far? Because you're saying anybody who say, PDP is a Tobago party, then they not living on planet Earth. So I believe that the response has been overwhelming.
Very much so.
How so?
I mean, there are places that we are called to attend and to walk, and we can't go there yet because it's just so demanding, and the people, they're ready. They like the vibes, the energy, they like the direction we are moving into. And I'm saying to you that we have this thing wrapped up, sewn up, and bagged. Let them call the election. If they sworn a man, let them call the election, and we will show them what defeat looks like.
Now, Mr. Duke, I heard a recent example about some men. I think a resident would have complained about some drainage issues in his area, and I think 2 of your men went to visit the area and that sort of thing. Is that the kind of strategy that you want to use as you look towards elections?
Well, definitely. We will be moving on the ground, and we will be attending to issues. Whatever those issues are, we will be meeting the man at his point of need. We don't intend to call upon the government for everything. There are some things that we will use a community effort and do.
Nice. Now, I know that you would have accompanied the TNT delegation to Dubai recently. Can you tell us, what opportunities you may have gotten for Tobago during that visit?
Well, right now we have persons who are willing to sponsor the entire development, the entire Roxborough, city of Roxborough, and more things. So it's just for me now to set my office up and have the proper support networks underneath me so we could be able to channel those desires in the right direction and make them manifest.
Now, in terms of tourism, were there any specific talks about, tourism and even how we can get Tobago a bit more global?
Well, that's part of tourism. I somewhat rubbish the idea that tourism is just about hotels. That's where you stay. But what do you see? What attracts you beyond the hotels? And this is what Tobago has to get right. What product are we selling? And right now we are on that trajectory to ensure that we build sufficient product in our tourism package. So when you're coming to Tobago, you're coming to Tobago to do something, not just a beach, not just to see a green coral, not just to see a waterfall. There has to be something more than that, because the visitors, they have different interests. And so the city of Roxborough speaks to some of those interests, and there are many other things that are being developed in the pipeline, which the Chief Secretary will speak about at some point in time, and you will recognize that Tobago has changed. When Tobago changed their political leadership, the entire life of Tobago has changed.
Now, Mr. Duke, you are also the Deputy Chief Secretary of the THA. In terms of the issues that you wanted to address when you just took office, I mean, can you give us an update on that? I know there were some road issues and some people complaining about electricity in certain areas. How has that been going?
It has been going good. I think the Chief Secretary is doing a fantastic job. He's very thoughtful. He's the kind of guy that will measure twice and cut once. He wants to be exact. And I think for the 4 months we have done sufficient work to let the people of Tobago know that we are serious about business, and furthermore to cause the people of Trinidad to desire that type of business in Trinidad.
What do you mean, that type of business?
Well, seriousness in government. We're not there to engage in stupid talk. That's what the two political parties are engaging. If you want jokes, take off Chris Rock. Take off the next guy. Let's watch Rowley, watch camera. Every day is jokes, fun, poke at each other. We're not on that. We are about the people's business.
But Mr. Duke, I mean, don't you think that, because the PDP is so young, they may...
Young?
Well, 5 years.
A day in politics is a lot. Have you ever heard that statement?
I have.
Well, let's live by that statement, please. 1 day in politics is a lot. 1 day in politics, they were saying PNM, PNM. And next day, they reject that like poison. They wanted no part of that. All 15 seats we captured. 14. Only after midnight,
14.
they stole back one. And it must be on the record. EBC gave them that seat.
Now, Mr. Duke, that's some very controversial things. As the viewers will know, it's a 14-1 that we got.
15 seats we got, 15-0.
But as we look towards autonomy, I wanted to get your thoughts on that, because I know that the bill is in Parliament, is currently in Parliament right now. I mean, are you looking forward to autonomy? How you think it's going to help Tobago, especially under this new party leadership?
Well, let me put it to you squarely. Autonomy does not help Tobago any more than it helps Trinidad. It is in Trinidad's best interest and Tobago's best interest to create a federal state, a state where both countries would have their own autonomy, but there's a federal government that manages the relationship. That's a more progressive move. When you have the European Union, it's a federal system. When you have the United States of America, it's a federal system. Russia is a federal system. Germany is a federal system. Canada is a federal system. Once you have people of different ethnicities and all that kind of stuff, you have to respect their culture. People have different cultures, they socialize differently, and sometimes where they're living, the economy based on that geographic location is different. So people will want to chart their own course. We can't have Trinidad dictate to Tobago and say agriculture is it, or tourism is it. The people of Tobago must decide on Tobago what's best for them. And we have been coming with some good plans. Plans, I believe, that would create an economy of its own that would be able to assist Trinidad in this time of need. And so likewise, Trinidad ought not to think that Tobago is a weight. They ought to be free from that weight and develop the economy without even worrying about Tobago. So if we are to operate in silos, but yet together, we are like brothers and sisters, one is a doctor, one is a lawyer, but they strengthen the family because the mother boasts. I have a daughter is a doctor, I have a son is a lawyer. I'm ready for them. And I want that at the end of the day, the people of Trinidad and Tobago must say, we're ready for them. In Tobago, they have this. In Trinidad, we have this. We're ready for them. We don't have to be the same.
Okay. And final question, as people have been, searching for candidates, you mentioned as well, searching for candidates as well. When can we see at least one candidate or one representative for elections?
Well, more than that, you're looking at one representative here, right? So
when can we see the official announcement then? Because I know you were talking about Port of Spain Corporation, but what about the others? And I mean, there have been some political strongholds, so I'm just wondering how you're going to battle with that.
The whole country is ours. We are taking the whole country, going after the whole country. After 41 seats. But let me say this, on Sunday the 1st, we will be having the official launch of the party's interim executive. It's going to be a type of splash, and it's going to be so informative that it will eclipse what the others have done.
Is it going to be similar to what we see with the opening of Barataria, or something totally different?
Beyond that. Something that this country has never, ever seen. Just to begin with, we are taking all the riffraffs, all our members, everyone, the man with the 1 foot, one eye, whatever. We are taking them to the Hyatt, all free. None of our supporters have to pay. The dress code is all black, the PDP jersey if you have it. We are treating them to a 3-course meal, entertainment, but most of all, they will see an executive in place that resembles Trinidad and Tobago. Not where it is racially skewed towards one point. No, we are speaking about balance. They will see a man who is a founder and leader, but yet he's a servant. That's Watson Duke. They will hear the vision of the party. And I'm saying to you, if you have something to do, let that something become nothing, and let the only thing you want to do on Sunday is to come to the PDP launch 3 p.m. at the Hyatt Hotel.
But Mr. Duke, I must say it sounds as an incentive as if you're trying to sway votes. I mean, how can you respond to that?
It's a treat. The PDP treat people. The Spartans believe in equality, in oneness. There is no bourgeois, there's no VIP there. What I'm eating, they're eating. Where they're sitting, I'm sitting. We have no bourgeois in our party at all. Everyone belongs to the working class. I myself, I describe myself the chief servant. I am there as a servant, not as a king.
Mr. Duke, thank you so much for joining us here on the Now Morning Show. Of course, it's Tobago Thursday, so we're happy to have you here in our studios.
So this is bad Tobago Thursday?
No, Tobago Thursday is great. I'm just saying that it's always a good time when we celebrate Tobago Thursday, so thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure, man.
And that was the political leader and the Deputy Chief Secretary, Mr. Watson Duke, just joining us to give us an update on the future of PDP in Trinidad. We're going to take a break and be right back. Stay with us.